upon a tragic and unbiblical interpretation of Romans chapter 8, Jehovah's Witnesses teach and believe that it's only the elite anointed within their congregation who are adopted as sons by God and therefore in line to be joint heirs of the kingdom with Jesus Christ. Speaking of these elite anointed, the Watchtower Society has said, "Those who are brothers of King Jesus Christ have been selected as heirs of the heavenly kingdom, a glorious privilege indeed." And while if this is true, this is a glorious privilege and very good news for these elite anointed, however, according to a prophecy given by Jesus Christ, this is horrifying news to the other sheep. Let me explain. In Matthew chapter 25, Jesus begins to speak prophetically of future judgment. He says, "When the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, he will sit on his throne in heavenly glory." He continues and says, "All the nations will be gathered before him," a poetic way of saying all people, righteous and unrighteous, "and he will separate the people one from another as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left." Now notice that there are only two categories. To Jesus, you're either a sheep or you're a goat. No other option exists. Now for the sheep, there's good news. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father. Take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world." And for the goats, there's bad news. Then he will say to those on his left, "Depart from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels." The question at hand, however, is this. The so-called other sheep must be in one of these two categories. However, if inheriting the kingdom, and there's only one kingdom to inherit, is reserved only for the elite anointed, the so-called other sheep cannot be the sheep spoken here of by Jesus. Because what does Jesus say to the sheep? "Come, you who are blessed by my Father. Take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world." If you're not inheriting the kingdom, you're not a sheep. You're a goat, destined to be destroyed. There is no other option without seriously twisting the scriptures. So next time a Jehovah's Witness knocks on your door and invites you to become one of these other sheep, say, "No thank you. I'm doing all I can to avoid the lake of fire."